Hey, you guys. Wendy Clinky from Blue Cat Studio. Today is day 21 of the Advent Ornament Challenge. My tongue is all twisted and tied. So we're going to be working with three purples today. We have the ultraviolet, which is a neon purple. We have the lavender, which is a beautiful kind of bluish light purple. And then we have a nice deep violet or dioxazine. And so those are going to be our primary colors. And then just kind of in the accent areas, we have mermaid tail teal, which is a deep teal, and a navy blue. Any old navy blue will do because we can mess with it. It's just going to be a mixture. And of course, white. Always love us some white. So let's go ahead and grab the lavender. That's the lightest of the purples, but not the ultraviolet. So lavender, dioxazine, ultraviolet. I'll pull that lavender out here, and I think I just want a kiss of it for now. Grab a big hunk of white and going to mix us a very, very pale lavender. That's just going to be for the base coat. So we're going to go ahead and just get that whole thing purpled up. So it's not normal to paint like an entire thing in all purple, but I was looking at the whole collection of all the projects that we've done so far, and I have not got enough purple, and I know we've got some purple lovers out there. So my friends, this is for you. This purple somehow isn't like in my primary vocabulary, so I have to sometimes be a little bit careful and I'm not careful. I have to think about it and make sure that I work it in because it is really gorgeous. All right, so again, just getting a basic purple. Doesn't have to be exactly even, but we just want good coverage on the entire ornament there. All right, so again, this one is called, I think it's Evening Chapel or Chapel at Evening or something like that. Anyways, we're using purples to kind of create a sort of a dusky feel. And very cool tones. So I think the color scheme is mostly analogous. Yeah, because it's going to be, that's really it. No yellows, no oranges, none of the usual suspects when you're working with me. Okay, so without rinsing your brush, you can grab a little bit of the ultraviolet, which is nearly a magenta. We're just going to kind of come across here and create a horizon line. Now that guy is a little too extra for me. I'm going to grab some of the dioxazine, and again, it's just a little kiss. I want to just kind of add a little in here and just kind of blend it to create a horizon line. Doesn't even have to be perfect or straight. Little swooshes across it. We'll grab a little bit more of the ultraviolet, a little kiss of the white. I haven't mixed it, and we're just going to kind of do a little something in the sky, kind of at the top. Light blending, but not too much. You want it to be a little bit streaky with a little bit of kind of color going on. Hopefully that you guys can kind of see how that varies. All right, go ahead and offload your brush. Let's just get the excess off. So a piece of junk mail or whatever you can find. This is a little bit big for drawing, but I think we're gonna try it anyways. Quick blast. Let's get everything dry here. So I'm going to stay with a big brush as long as I can until it really feels like we need to go down a step. So we're just going to grab some pure straight dioxazine. That's the dark purple. So if you're using like Liquitex Basics, it's going to be like just a violet. In fact, most of them just call it violet or dark purple or whatever, but dioxazine is what DecoArt calls it. And we're just going to draw a box. Okay, we're drawing a chapel. So I'm going to walk you through this, break it down into little shapes so you can just get it. So you don't have to know how to draw to be able to draw this. And if yours is a little wonky, we're just going to call it Country Charm. Okay? Okay, I'm glad we got that out of the way. All right, so now we're going to kind of really just make a house with a little roof. We're going to kind of extend it out. Again, I'm going to do the best I can with my bigger brush. If you need to get smaller, go for it. Okay, and then from here, we're going to come out underneath and parallel to that roof line and make a second roof line on each one. Bloops. There we go. And we'll grab some purple and we'll come down here, maybe out to where the eave ends here. And fill it in, and then we'll come out to here and fill it in. Just a good base purple. If you feel like your stuff's too streaky, give it a little Got a little brushing. Now you've got that down. Again, I'm just grabbing a little bit more paint, and I'm really working to keep my brush very flat, because when it's flat, I get a really nice fine sort of brush blade edge. All right, I'm going to come in here. We're going to draw like right on either side of that peak and draw a cute little rectangle. So hopefully you weren't fixated on that peak there too much. So we made it go away. And we'll give it a little tiny roof. And then just for giggles, we'll do one more skinny one right on top. You may need a smaller brush to make that roof edge. So now you've got this funny little stack thing. This is the body. It's the basic body of the chapel. Really simple, right? I've got all sorts of light glare in here, so I'm just trying to determine if I have any spots that need touch-ups. Okay. That's the basic body of the basic body. Go ahead and offload your brush, and I think we're done with this guy for the most part. You know, we may use a little bit later, kind of in the floor, but not yet. So go ahead and rinse it. Get your paper towel, and of course dry it. Get as much of that paint off as you can. And let's grab a fairly small brush. Whoops, you guys all like split. All right, you're gonna grab some navy blue. Bring it over here. Maybe like 2 gobs of navy blue on your brush, and then 1 gob of mermaid tail, and you're going to kind of work them together. All right, and we're going to create a couple of trees here. So let's sketch them in. So behind this chapel, we're going to do a little tree right here, just kind of ziggle zaggle, and if you're letting some of the purple show, the background purple show behind it, that is great. Just kind of zigzag. Let's do another one, maybe smaller right here. Again, we're going to kind of vary the heights of each of these trees so that it feels kind of realistic. This is just a nice kind of classic grouping of buildings. I'm just kind of, well, I should be doing a better job ziggle-zaggling there. I don't want to get the tree on the front of the chapel, so I'm kind of creating a little bit of a more defined edge there and just kind of bringing little bits out. So that's kind of a navy blue / green colored thing. I'm going to grab a little bit of white from my palette, and I'm going to kind of run it through there to lighten just a little bit. And again, I'm not doing much mixing. I'm more just like dragging the brush through, because those bristles can't handle much more than that. So we'll add just a little bit of that lighter color right on top. And it's there just to kind of tone and give a little bit of depth to those trees. These are kind of our mid-ground trees. Not quite foreground and not quite background, mid-ground. So they've got the little bit of darkness behind them, and then they've lightened. Hey there, Linda. How's it going? Linda in Texas. You always have the best emojis. Oh my goodness. I love your emojis. Okay. Let's see. My brush is looking pretty sad, but that's okay. I'm going to grab some more navy. Big hunk of it over here. And let's do a couple more hunks of navy. Burp. And we'll grab a little bit of that mermaid tail. And again, I'm just going to drag the brush through. My last mix was a little bit too green, a little bit too late. I want light. I want this one to be, oh, I'm sorry. I'm totally off cam. I want this to be like much more blue dominant. I apologize. Sometimes I get all misaligned here. I'm going to do like a taller tree up here. I think I need even just a smidge more navy blue. So I'm just going to grab a pick of a kiss of navy blue right on my brush. And this navy blue I picked out. It's from, I think, Anita's. Yeah, I got it at Hobby Lobby. It's a Rust-Oleum brand. Midnight Navy. Yeah, Midnight Blue or something like that. It's got a little bit of a green tone to it. I think it's really beautiful, and that's why it pairs really nicely, and does pretty blending with a mermaid tail teal. So you notice as I'm coming right in here where these two trees meet. Oh, Linda says she absolutely loves the background color. Thank you. I have been slacking on the purple, so it was time to do a little salute to all my purple people. I know that's a lot of folks' favorite color. Okay, so I was saying that right in between here where these two trees kind of overlap, we're allowing there to be a little bit of space. You can see the purple kind of negative space, and that's important. All right, and since my blending with a mermaid tail is not showing up quite as well as I'd like, I'm gonna do just straight up navy over here, and it's gonna be a shorter, narrower tree. And again, I'm just kind of blopping the paint on, allowing a little bits of that purple background to show through. Again, I think what we like to call that the negative space. And then I grab a touch of purple here and some navy blue and kind of, brush them in one direction together. Again, doing my best. Gosh, you guys, I'm sorry. I keep thinking I'm on and then I'm like, just slide right off. So I usually have a much larger space to work in. And I was just doing a 16 by 20 painting earlier today on camera, so I'm like confused. All right, so since we're here, we're going to add a darker tree kind of right here on this guy. And it's got that little bit of purple and the navy. And this one is actually going to kind of break the horizon line and come in front of it. And we'll have some time to kind of tweak it. But so you're kind of lining that tree up right there with this piece here. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's kind of like a series of upside down V's, just kind of roughly kind of sketched in there. All right, cool. So now we've got some trees. They're still a little hard to see, but that's fine because we have a few more layers to go. And let's see, I'm gonna offload that paint, give it a quick rinse. Skinny bristles like this, you don't rub it on the bottom, you just swish it vigorously in your water and then use your paper towel to rub any excess pigment off the neck of the brush. All right, so I'm gonna grab some of the ultraviolet, make a line, grab some white, and we're mixing in. You notice we're working in like really tiny colors. It's just a little easier that way. I think that's a little bit too bright, so I'm going to grab a touch of the dioxazine just to darken it a smidge and mute it. But we want the white. The white is really going to help with transparency of or lack thereof. It's going to help. That's what I'm trying to say. It's going to help. All right, so we see kind of our roof line is maybe here. I'm just going to sketch that in so we can kind of visualize it. Right, those aren't the lines we're actually going to be working with in that color. So I just really sketch that in. And then let's see here. We could even say we've got lines that kind of go here and here. Again, these construction lines make really good references. So we'll just kind of little plop something in. All right, I'll get to the point, Wendy. Okay, yes, I get to the point. So we'll go ahead and kind of pick a peak right here below where the roof line would be or the eaves line. We're going to make a little slanty door here. I want it to be wide enough to be thought of as double doors, right? That is still looking a bit narrow. We'll just get it filled in. I'll add just a touch. Nope, not too much. Looks like an iron, doesn't it? Like somebody. So maybe we'll make that a little steeper so it doesn't look like someone just plopped their iron on my project here. Let's see, so make it kind of go out a little bit, like so, and then kind of almost square out and drop down, and then smooth the edges. There. This is a little less like an iron, a little bit more churchy. So I'm running low on that color I mixed. So again, grabbing some ultraviolet, some dioxazine, and some white, and blending them together to kind of create that lighter, brighter purple. And the white is important because it's the only way it's going to show up on top of the dark dioxazine purple. So then we're going to do similar kind of matching guys over here. Oh, geez, chopped my shoulder there. That was weird. Okay, so coming down, it's our little purple dusky chapel, or dusky colors anyway, right? So I kind of got a tree here, so, I probably could have drawn the tree after, but I was on a roll. And I figured if I drew the trees, well, yeah, if I drew the trees first, then I would actually make it so I could find the windows, whereas sometimes I get all confused and stuff. All right, so while we're here, we'll do like a little tiny like window right in this zone here, little one right here in this zone here, just to either side of the peak. And then we'll do kind of a big, maybe an arcing clerestory, almost upside down moon-shaped window here. Or whatever you want. If that's not your thing, you can do something else. The idea is openness and light. And we'll do the last one right up there. Then maybe just a slit right up here. That might be like the bell tower or something. Okay, so now we've got that kind of basic purple color. It's still a little, I mean, this is all very dark and it's a little hard to see. So now that we've got that base coat in, I can grab the ultraviolet and kind of bring a few ultraviolet smudges into the middle. But that base coat helps pop it from that color below it. And it doesn't have to be perfect. We just want some smudges of that, of the ultraviolet coming back in on top of that sort of primer coat, so to speak. Just little pops like in each of the windows. Bloops. Okay. Gonna, oh, and you know what? We probably want to get a little bit of that, just kind of wiggle, jiggle, jaggle, a little bit of that pinky color. It's not pink, I swear, it's called ultraviolet. It's a purple, or it's meant to be a purple. It's kind of like a loud magenta. I'll kind of plop that in there. So that adds almost like a glowing foreground or a glowing sky, glowing ground. It's kind of catching clearly some amazing light that's coming from somewhere. Alrighty, let's grab some white. I am not rinsing my brush, so if I've got little bits of purple on my brush, no big deal. All right, and we're going to just kind of start to outline everything. So we're going to add a little roof here on top of the purple. Now, if some of that purple still shows, that's great, right? But this is just going to help it show up a little bit better. Ooh, come on. I'm losing my grip a little here. So getting, let's see, here we go. A little fine liner here. Ooh. I may have to switch brushes. This one keeps splitting on me. All right, and then we've got a little window in here. I might just do kind of 2 parallel lines or something just to kind of hint at it. It's going to be too hard to get all the details in. And half the time, you know, painting really is about just, is painting enough to suggest what's there? You don't always have to get everything perfect. So I'm going to rotate this a little bit so I can pull a cleaner line for that roof. And notice that white line is right in the middle of the purple. You can see the purple on both sides of the line. Oh, this brush, come on, stop separating. Y'all, we've been working my brushes too hard. Day 21. So a lot of painting. All right. Here we go. All right, so when if your bristles start to spread out, sometimes you can kind of take your brush and twist it, just like zoop, in the paint to kind of help reform the tip. So again, we're going to give these guys just a little bit of an outline. It doesn't have to be perfect and accurate. It just needs to kind of tell the story. As painters, we are storytellers. We put enough to get the activate the imagination, to make the imagination do its thing. All right, so I know I had that purple line right there. I'm going to do the white line just to the outside of it so that the base area seems just a little smidgy wider than the one above. Sorry, my hand is totally in the way. All right, getting in here with super controlled lines. So we're going to outline again like the little side lights, I guess they're called. That's what windows are called, right? Side lights or lights. I guess back in the day, that was the source of light. A little something here, a little something here. And if it's not perfect, it's still cute enough. Yeah, we definitely needed some purple in our rainbow of ornaments that was missing. So there you go, all my purple people, this one is for you. Okay, so this is going fast. This is good. So I'm going to take some of that white and just kind of smush it across the front here. And I think while I'm here, I'm going to grab a slightly larger brush. A little bit of white, a little bit of the lavender. Just kind of make a mix. And just kind of come up. All right, I feel like I need way more paint. A little bit of snow. Add a little bit of that pink to kind of blend So I'm working on a dry surface, and ideally this would be a wet surface. The wood is sucking up the paint so quickly. So now I'm going to grab a little bit more of the lavender and kind of blend it in. I got kind of a big chunk there, so I need to maybe remove some of it using my finger. It's a great way to gently lift excess paint if it's wet. And because we did that little smoosh of white right in the middle, we do still kind of have hints of a path. And I just grabbed a little bit more white on my brush, just a tiny bit. It's not like gobbed on, it's just a little bit. Just kind of gently swooshing back and forth, allowing that kind of blending to occur right there. You can even make this one a slightly meandering path if you like, whatever is going to work for you. Got a little too wide over here, so I'm going to hem it in a smidge with some of this darker purple. Not the dark, it's the lavender. I'm hemming it in with the lavender. I will even make it meander a little bit. There you go. Meander, meander. All right, there we go. That works. Maybe a touch more of the ultraviolet to just kind of, whoops, that's more than a touch in it. That's what happens when I don't follow my own rules and I do a big gob instead of a kiss. Okay, now we've got like a, now we got it. All right, there we go. Sometimes it just takes a little finesse. So rinsing that guy, I think two things. One, I want to add a little bit of shading to this guy. So we're going to come in here and we're going to grab some of the navy blue, or even some of the navy and green, and navy and mermaid tail, whatever. And just pick something that's dark. It doesn't have to be perfect, just a something. We're going to come in and we are going to add a little tiny occasional line on the inside of some of these like door window things under the eaves. In some cases, it's going to feel like a very, very subtle addition, like under the rooftops to kind of add some shadow. And that's going to give this guy just a little bit of depth. Just little tiny touches that kind of make it interesting. And we'll carry that all the way across here. We'll get under here again. Again, if you're working this small, this is 3-inch diameter, you're going to end up with a lot of itty bitty teeny tiny brushes. We could do a little bit of shading under there too, right? Okay, under here and under there. Then I guess I could do a smidge of shading under this window. I may have to skip the shading on these little itty bitty teeny tiny micro windows. I think that's going to be just too much to ask. And then I'm going to break my rule and I'm going to put the little shading on this side here. It would normally go on the tree side, but I'm not going to work there. If you wanted, maybe on these little windows here, you could put a dot at the top underneath the white. So that just is, we've kind of cast some shadows and now it's got more depth. So these trees, you can't really see them, right? So let's mess with that. Let's mess with that. So I'm going to have my mermaid tail, boop, a navy. That's again just to kind of make that too mermaid taily. I know it's weird we're using blues to create trees, but it works. And then we'll take some white. And I think we're going to go a lot lighter with the white. So let's see. Get another hunk of white. Keep mixing. I don't want pure white. All right, that works. That's a nice light color compared to all these. I'm going to come in and we're going to kind of dab some snow. Dab some snow on these guys. I'm going to go a little bit lighter. I overdid it on the top of that one tree. So here's where having my bristles kind of starting to split apart really helps. So as you're doing a tree like this, to kind of keep almost like an arc going side to side, where you're kind of bringing the stuff not in straight lines across, but in a gentle arc, kind of helps. So now that we've got that base of sort of, it's a deep tone whitish green, I'm going to come back in. Now I'm going to come back in with some straight white. This one looks drier, so I'm just going to dop a little bit of white in a few spots on top. Just going to give it that sense of old snow, new snow, deep snow, fresh snow, snow on the tips, snow catching the light, snow doing all the things. I originally had a plan for like glitter for this guy, but I feel like he's small and intricate details. So I very much worry that glitter could mess with this guy. So if you're feeling the glitter and you've got some plans for it, by all means, do it. I feel like I'm going to lose my detail or I need something very, very subtle, like in the sky, or maybe just on the trees, So all that purple glitter I just broke out is no good. I'm going to do just a little bit more white, kind of a few streaky bits, just kind of along here and here. A little reflection on the path. Trying to keep it simple. Offloading, and I'm going to go right back into that navy blue that didn't really have the white in it, and I think I'm going to add like a line down the center here, so this now becomes a double door. So I think we'll also add a second shadow here, maybe not all the way down, and maybe some little doorknobs right here, make them nice, big, tall. Then we could add like a dark step or something that kind of comes out. I don't know. Kind of making it happen. I think that kind of sets us up for success right there. Wait, hold on. There's always little dark corners right here where doors hit the ground. Always little dark corners. So we're gonna add a couple little dark corners in these little zones in here. So now it kind of feels like raised up a bit. Something hiding in that corner. And let's see, I'm going to grab just a pinchy pinch, tiny itty bit of snow. I'm going to dab just the very barest amount of little bits of snow on a couple of these light trees, and kind of keep it towards the outside, just kisses on this one. I don't want full coverage. I just want partial coverage. Again, that's going to help differentiate foreground, midground, background. So it's kind of catching the light. There's definitely some snow on it, but a lot of that is kind of far enough back that we're not seeing all the details, but we know it's there. Oh God. And for some reason that comes off as very dark, but it's pretty visible. So I think we are good to go. I hope you had fun with this. And again, Wendy Klinke with Blue Cat Studio Art. And I've tagged both my company and, of course, I'm posting this. And if you have questions, let me know. If you do this, go ahead and tag #AdventOrnamentChallenge and show your stuff off. If you feel like adding glitter, I'm going to leave that to you to figure out where you want it to go. We need to paint this part gold, and then I'm going to call it a night. Oh, Linda says my chapel is so inviting. Well, I'm hoping that it kind of gives that sense of peace and calm and all the good things. All right, so grabbing some gold. I'm just going to get it right there. Now, I know that individually this would probably look much cooler with silver. However, just to stay consistent, since we're doing all of them in gold, we're doing this one in gold. So it's funny, as I go through the design process for these, because obviously if I come up with the idea to do this on November 30th, I don't have like all the designs already baked and ready to go. So some of these designs are not on the fly, but they're evolving throughout the course of the month. And sometimes you have to look at the collection sort of where it is as a whole and say, hey, you know what's missing to make this set feel complete? Because each of these are individual paintings, but they're also part of a greater piece. So let me see here. I'm looking at my glitter. You know what I have? Give me 1 second, you guys. I got this stuff, which might be really cool. If I can find it. Where are you, buddy? It's like this cool, like iridescent shimmer stuff. And I even happen to have it in like a purple tone. Oh, hey, is that it? You're the green. You're the purple. Okay. So I have this DuraClear iridescent varnish from DecoArt. I might regret this, but I don't know. We're going to play with it anyways. I'm going to give it a quick blast so that the whole surface is dry so that we don't have any smudging when I go over it. But I'm thinking that the ground would be perfect, or maybe even the sky. Because those are light and they're kind of a single color, and I'm not going to lose any of that sort of the fidelity or focus or detail. Because, the other day when we did the whole, sugar plum house or you could call it the gingerbread house, that was actually kind of purple. I went over all the details with this stuff or with the glitter, and kind of felt like I lost a little bit of it. So yeah, we'll do this here. Now it may be hard to see, but it should, in certain lights, have just a slight purple glow and kind of iridescence. I think that would be fun. So we have iridescent ground, and then we'll do iridescent. What do you think? Iridescent sky? Yeah. Okay, so Linda says, thanks for another beautiful ornament. I'm completely smitten with them at first sight. Ah, that makes my day. I try really hard to create stuff that you guys will love. Ooh, I do. Yep. This is, okay, I'm gonna do the trees too. This iridescent is amazing. You know, I'm probably gonna end up coating everything. I'm gonna try not to, but it's just getting awfully tempting. I don't think that the iridescent is showing up on camera though. Well, you can kind of see like this section now has a little like a glow. It's like dewy, and this section doesn't. So all right, we'll keep going with it. Okay, so I'll put my finger smack in the middle of the chapel since that part is not getting painted. So I'm doing at least the background trees and the sky and the ground, and I'm leaving the chapel as is. So I think that'll also help pop the chapel out a little bit. So, I mean, the chapel is mainly meant to be kind of like in like a silhouette with, you know, some of the details coming through. Yeah, now it's like that magic hour. I think maybe the trees up front will get a little shimmer too. Trying to capture magic through paint. Some days it works, some days it doesn't, but I'm feeling like we caught a little magic tonight. So I'm happy. I'm hoping that this varnish has a little bit of a sheen, which will also help because we have kind of like matte finish thing and then kind of a shimmer thing. I don't know, I bought this to do like the paint your own ceramics thing. Not the fire kind, but the no fire kind, like Christmas trees and stuff. But I'm not really doing the ceramics this year. I'm no good at stocking inventory. I can't keep track of stuff. I was like, my own head and my ideas. That's about all I got room for right now. Okay, there we go. Let's see. So if I lift this up, can we capture some of that shimmer? I'm trying to decide. I think it's there. Ooh. So it's shiny, but there's also a bit of shimmer to it. But notice how because the chapel isn't shiny, it has sort of a gravity, and it's kind of like this solid thing in this ethereal space. Which maybe I should have done it the opposite. It's an ethereal thing in a solid space, but either way, you know, it's the contrast. Thank you guys for joining me. I will see you tomorrow for the next one, and love you all as always. Bye.